All right. Hello, my lovely witches. Welcome to episode 51.
Hold on. I did something. I can't hear you with my headphones in here.
Welcome back, Wren.
Ah.
Hello, my lovely witches. Welcome to episode 51 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm River Kane, and guess who I have with me today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I was gonna try to come up with something like funny and witty, like your mom, but hi, I'm Wren Graves.
Obviously, Wren is back.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, she's been swamped, but she said, guess what? One of my classes was canceled. I think I can do it. And so here we are.
Yes, and I've actually taken it upon myself.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. To make the most of today. And I got a couple things done, but I've also been baking today. Yes.
Baking.
So I am. Yeah. So I made a gluten-free brownie recipe that I've been wanting to try for a couple months now. And it's very good. It's very chocolatey though.
Okay.
But it tastes like a normal brownie.
Is it too sweet or?
I think just a bit. I think I'd take out some brown sugar or something, or I don't know. It's very delicious.
She is starting to do, I don't know if you follow her on TikTok or not, but she did one with, what did you make?
I made pickles.
Oh yeah, she made pickles, and
yes,
she did a video for it. So go check out her TikTok. I don't know if she's done anything more since then, but she is starting to.
I've done some chicken noodle soup. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have time. And when I did those videos, I had maybe like 2 hours, 3 hours to myself. And I was like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also making bread and I've already messed it up. Well, I followed the recipe, but I used the cassava flour instead of a gluten-free flour. And apparently cassava flour is very, very dry. So that water that the water that I added to it, it wasn't the texture / consistency it should have been. So I added more eggs and some more water and it's a little bit better, but it's definitely not going to turn out like how I thought it was going to. So maybe next time I just need to follow the recipe, 100% gluten-free flour and all of that.
That's how we do our drinks, you guys. I mean, we'll try it and we're like, this isn't good. Oh gosh, too bad we have to drink that. Okay, now let's try it again.
Yeah.
Trial and error. But
yes.
Today, I'm actually not drinking anything fun because this just popped up. So I'm just drinking a La Croix.
La Croix. Yeah, I needed to get rid of a bottle from my refrigerator because it's been in there for a while. And so I'm drinking the rest of my cotton candy flavored wine.
Oh, how fun.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And I feel like it was maybe last episode that I was on here, or maybe like one of the last ones that I was on here where I actually got the bottle. And so it's kind of fitting. Yeah, I've had it for that long. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I drank mine like the day she gave it to me. It was gone.
Yeah. No, it's so good. I like to save things, but it's taking up some space in my fridge. So I need it gone.
Yeah, I really can't be drinking this afternoon. I've got to pack. We got to go out of town to help my parents. They're out of state. So I've got to drive out of state and I got to get packed. I don't think my husband would appreciate it if I'm drunk trying to do all those things. So
no, but it would be more fun for you.
That's true. I would have a great time packing the car.
Yeah, but that's when you get up to where your destination is and you're like, oh, where's my this and where's my this? And I forgot my underwear.
Hey, they have targets up there. It's all
I
good.
guess you're right. But I don't think that your husband would be very fond or happy.
Not very happy about that. Okay. But so today, I don't even think I said what we're going to talk about yet. So today we're going to talk about herbs for your familiars and your pets. And we've talked about herbs before and how it helps humans, but we have never really talked about how to do it for animals.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them why we decided to do this topic?
You tell them. It's because of you. This was a Wren topic.
Yeah. So it was yesterday that I went over to your place and I brought my dog and we were just chilling outside, and I know your whole backyard is just full of basically like herbs, like wild herbs and stuff. And
it's
you guys have, and you guys have like wild mint. And so to preface, we were sitting on this, like, it's like stones, like pebbles type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my dog hates it. Okay. So I put her on the pebbles and she just wobbles right off, but she wobbled off and she just plopped down, and I wasn't really paying attention until like maybe 5 minutes later. I turned around and I see that she's eating your mint. And I was like, whoa. Like, stop eating the mint. It's poisonous to you, blah, blah, blah. Cause I didn't know.
Yeah. She was freaking out. She's like, oh my God, this might be poisonous. What do we do?
Yeah.
Like, wait. Let's look it up and see. And so I did. And it's not
poisonous. And it's not poisonous. And it's actually very interesting. And we'll talk a lot more about it. But so my dog came up with this topic.
Now, before we start, we need to emphasize that we're not doctors, we're not veterinarians, so please do your own research, talk to a veterinarian before treating your familiar or pet. The information that we're going to discuss, we found from different sources on the internet, so we are certainly not qualified to give medical treatment to animals.
Yes.
Okay, so I thought we would start with dogs. This was kind of it was hard to figure out how to present this because some people have, parakeets or birds for their familiars. And so I was like, I don't really know how to talk about this. So I started with dogs. And then by the time I got to cats, we kind of just started talking about different herbs. So we'll just see how this goes.
Yeah.
So the first thing with dogs that I looked at was skin problems, the external part of the dog, the external. That's a weird way to put that.
I know there's a joke in there.
The skin is part of the bodily system called the integumentary system.
And sorry to interrupt you. Did you know, a Wren fact, that the skin is the largest organ on your body or in your body? Of your body.
That's cool. Yeah, it's a lot of people don't think of skin as being a body organ, but it is.
Sorry.
So
okay.
the skin also includes the nails, the ear flaps, the ear canals, the fur, the various glands like the sweat, anal, tail, and lip glands. And it provides a barrier holding the muscles and the organs and the bones that are internal. And the connective tissue and all that inside the body, giving the dog their shape. Did you know that the skin makes up about 12% of your dog's total body weight?
Oh, well, actually, that kind of makes sense because I don't think I've posted any pictures of my dog, but she's a chunker. Okay. She loves her food. And before we started regulating her food, which was like a while ago, she's lost some weight, but she has all of this skin. Yeah. And I know it is most of her weight. So that makes sense.
I can see that. I can see that. The skin isn't just a body blanket. I liked that. A body blanket. It serves a functioning purpose and contributes to your dog's vitality. So in most Western veterinary medicine, and you've experienced this firsthand, for most skin issues, they administer antibiotics, antifungals, immunosuppressants, corticosteroids, other kinds of steroids. They just go straight for the medicine, that's because they're doctors and that's what they're trained in. But that doesn't take into account your dog as an individual. Every dog has different diets, different environments, different vaccinations, different stress levels. That's just a broad way of treating your animal, as opposed to if we go to this homeopathic type, the herbs, then you can treat specifically your pet.
Yeah. My dog, she's like 13 years old, she's very old. I hate to say it, but she's starting to, get a whole ton of problems and health problems and whatnot. And so she has really bad everything, basically. She has a really bad skin and she's very itchy all the time. And she gets these bumps on her back, and the vet cannot explain what they are. They have prescribed my dog steroids, antibiotics, all this antibacterial shampoos, and I have spent hundreds of dollars on trying to figure it out, but it just will not go away. With this research, it makes me want to go down this not a spiral, but this information and try some things out and see if they work for her.
Yeah, I definitely think you should, because we came up with a whole bunch of different things. So you'll have to keep us posted on what works for your dog.
Yeah.
You can use herbs on your dog in several different ways. You can do tinctures, infusions, decoctions, and poultices or compresses. So a tincture, you would give 1 drop for every 25 pounds of animal 2 to 3 times a day. An infusion, you would make like a hot tea using an ounce of the herb in a quart of unfiltered water. And you boil that, you add the herbs and let it steep for about 30 minutes, just like you're making tea for humans. And then you allow it to cool, and you give 1 tablespoon for every 25 pounds divided for morning and evenings, and you give it with food. A decoction, which that was interesting to me because I always thought of it as a concoction. So I'm not quite sure what the difference between a decoction and a concoction is. But this says you add 1 ounce of root, bark, seed, or whatever it is that you're using to a quart of unfiltered water. You cover and simmer on low for 1 to 2 hours. And then you give a tablespoon of that for every 25 pounds divided for mornings and evenings with food. And then the poultices or compresses, you chop up the fresh herbs, and for a poultice, you apply it directly to the affected area or wrap it in clean gauze and apply. And I feel like with your dog, this might be something that would be worth trying on some of those larger bumps that she's got.
Yeah.
For a compress, you apply the herbal mixture, whatever it is, to a clean cotton cloth and cover the affected area. And it can be applied hot or cold. So then I started looking at, well, what kind of herbs would you do these things with? And my dogs eat our dandelions outside all the time. So I thought, well, let's look at dandelions. So the part of the dandelions you can use is, you can actually use the whole plant. You can use the flowers, the leaves, and the root. The methods for use, it works well in oils, tinctures, infusions, decoctions, fresh or dried. And then, as my dogs like to do, they eat them raw outside in the backyard. Externally, you can use it as an oil or salve for warts or other skin tags, which I thought was interesting. And then internally, it's good for liver restoration, kidney support, anti-allergy, and it is safe for long-term use. So you don't have to worry about having too much of it. Did you know, and speaking of being witchy, these witchy topics that we do, dandelion is the only flower that represents all 3 celestial bodies during its different phases of its life cycle. It represents the sun, the moon, and the stars. The yellow flower that we all know of the dandelion plant represents the sun. the dispersing seeds that you all, you blow on them. And when you disperse them, those resemble the stars. And the little puffball that you blow on to make those seeds represents the moon. I thought
that's
that was
very
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
I actually feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Well, it is a witchy fact. So you've probably read it somewhere. With all
Yeah.
the stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
And then nettles, you can use the leaf, root, and seed of a nettle. You can saute it, which I thought was interesting. You take nettles and you saute them, the fresh nettles. You can make tinctures, you can make infusions, decoctions. You can use it as a dried herb, or you can use it as a juice. And I've never tried to juice a nettle before. I've stepped on a nettle before. I can't imagine. The only juice that the nettle got was the blood that came out of my foot when I stepped on it. So
yum.
I don't know about the juice of nettles. I really don't know. But externally on your dog, you can use that juice as a wash for inflammation and to stop bleeding or weeping. And I think that means the part around the eye, maybe. Is that what the weeping sores? I don't know.
Maybe both.
Maybe.
I'm just going to conclude with both.
And then internally, it's got good nutrition. It's also an anti-inflammatory. It provides kidney support. It is an excellent remedy for environmentally reactive dogs, which I feel like yours is. Your dog's allergic to grass.
She is the shortest dog. She's a miniature dachshund, and her poor little luck. Unlucky, she's allergic to grass. So it's just terrible. She gets this really bad red rash when she goes into like freshly bloomed grass and everything. And then she's just itchy, and then she can't like scratch herself because she has short legs. So it's just, it's so bad.
Poor little puppy.
I know. She's a mess of a dog.
The next thing I found was apple cider vinegar, which apple cider vinegar seems to be good for all kinds of things, whether for human or for animals. It says it's a powerful antibacterial and antifungal treatment. Oh. You just have to make sure you dilute it before you apply it. You do a 1-to-1 solution of apple cider vinegar and water. You can put that into a spray bottle and you can spray it on your dog's coat, which will help with itchy skin.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you might want to try that for her.
Yeah, I also have a whole gallon that I need to use.
Really?
Yeah, other witchy things. I have all this random ingredients and stuff in my house.
But you do need to be careful with it because it does burn if she's got open wounds. So if she scratched any of those sores open, you're not going to want to put apple cider vinegar on it.
Well, she can't because they're all in her back. She can't scratch them.
Okay.
It's so sad. Yeah.
If your dog's paws are itching, which I know she does, she bites on her feet.
Her poor little feet swell. And I know I'm talking a lot about my poor dog, but her poor little feet, when she goes in the grass, they swell about 2 to 3 times larger than like her normal size. And so it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time to watch her walk around with these humongous feet on this tiny dog. Yeah.
Well, it says you can dip and soak their paws for 5 minutes in that 1-to-1 solution of apple cider vinegar, and that will help relieve the itching. So that might be something we'll want to try with her.
Yeah, I'll definitely try that.
And then coconut oil. Coconut oil soothes dog eczema and allergies. So you just massage the coconut oil into your dog's coat and skin, which I think she would love anyway.
I think she loves her baths. And so I could see where I could just like incorporate some sort of coconut oil, like, I need to, maybe what I should do is make her own shampoo.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And you should video it on your TikTok and post it.
I'll video it, or if I ever do that with all the time that I have,
all your spare time.
Yeah. I could post it on Patreon.
Oh, good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. Also, when you're using coconut oil, be really careful to look for the words like organic, unrefined, or virgin, because you want to make sure you're not putting things onto your dog that have other additives. You want to try to let it be as pure as possible.
Yeah. There are a lot of things that have coconut oil with, so yeah, that makes sense. You just want straight coconut oil.
You can also add a little bit of the coconut oil to your dog's food as a way to get it internal.
I have heard of that. I'm on a dog TikTok it's like half and half. It's like witch talk with dog talk. And a lot of it is like how spoiled these dogs are with like their food. And so they get like some dry kibble, and then they get like crushed up like quail eggs and like yolk and stuff. And it's like they get salmon and all the like meat and stuff. And sometimes they have like pumps of like coconut oil.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, coconut oil is an antibacterial, so it can be applied to those raw wounds. That if your dog was able to scratch the wounds, then that she could actually apply that to it. I mean, you could actually apply that to those. Wow. I'm not even the one drinking. Lavender. So lavender and calendula flower oils are anti-inflammatory. So that is a wonderful thing for a dog who's itchy. It's recommended that you dilute the oils in 1 part oil, 5 to 10 parts water solution, and do a patch. Do a patch test on your dog first, because you don't want to cover their whole body and have a bad reaction. Yeah. Did you know actually the word lavender comes from the Latin verb lavare, which means to wash. So it makes sense that it would be used as a wash for skin issues. That makes sense to me.
That does make sense. And then the word in French, which I am not going to try to pronounce because I will butcher the word, because I haven't taken French in, I want to say 3 years. But that's also like to wash, it's similar. It means to wash. And then the phrase in my head is to like wash hands, because like that's one that we had to use a lot. So that makes sense.
So the next thing I decided to tackle as far as dogs go are tummy issues. So ginger, and I think we've all heard that ginger is an anti-nausea medicine for humans, but it's also for dogs, and I think cats as well. So if you have a dog that gets car sick or just has upset stomachs like humans do, then you can try ginger, and you can make ginger cookies, a natural ginger cookie. And I think most dogs would love that as a treat. Or there are capsules of ginger that you can open up that you can give to them, and it will help settle their stomach. If you do have a dog that gets car sick and that tends to move around and whine and vomit while in the car, if you give them like a ginger cookie or two, depending on the size of the animal, about a half an hour before you go on the car ride, that should help keep the dog's stomach settled. And you can also brew it into a tea to give to your dog. We can have tea with our dogs.
Aww.
We should have a tea party, a ginger tea party. Did you know that the ginger plant actually can grow 4 feet tall?
What? I don't think
tall.
I don't think I'm picturing it correctly.
I think the ginger itself is the root of the plant.
That's what I'm thinking. So what does the exposed plant look like?
I don't know. I have no idea.
So I decided to go with rosemary. Okay. And rosemary has multiple uses. And so rosemary contains an antimicrobial property or properties. It contains antimicrobial properties. I'm already messing up. And it can be used for treatment of minor cuts or burns, as well as infections of the mouth, which is, I know we're on more like tummy issues, but it also alleviates that. But it does a lot with the mouth infection and urinary and digestive tract. Okay.
You need to use that for your dog then.
That's what I'm saying. After looking at all of this stuff, I need to make her something, because she goes to the vet at least once a month to be put on medication. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's a steroid. to keep the bacteria in her mouth at bay because she has a hereditary disease where her body attacks her teeth. So my poor dog, she has no teeth. That is very loud. She has no teeth, and it still like attacks her gum.
Aw.
So it's just like, it's really bad because she's had like mini dentals where she has had like most of her teeth pulled out, and it's gotten to the point where her jaw is so weak where if they try to pull anymore, it'll break her jaw.
Aw.
I know, but she still has these like the vet that I went to, it's a whole story. We've changed vets since then. But the vet that I went to, they said, oh yeah, if you remove her teeth, 100% it'll go away, right? Well, it didn't. And it actually made it quite worse. And so reading on rosemary and the other plants that I cover, I'm going to try some things and I'm going to see.
Great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep us posted.
Yeah. The antioxidants in rosemary, they have like a neutralizing like part in them, which damages cells, like bad cells, but like in the body, right? So rosemary also aids in digestion, alleviating farts. Flatulence is the word that I have, but
that's the proper, if we're going to be having a tea party with our dogs, we should use the proper terminology.
Yes.
Flatulence.
No. It alleviates gas and upset stomachs. And then properties in rosemary have been cited for their ability to repel insects as well. So many pet owners make their own kind of like rinses for their dog's coat. And so you steep 1 tablespoon of fresh rosemary in a pint of boiling water for 10 minutes. And then when it's cooled, you use it as a like final rinse after your pet's bath.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I really hate putting that medicine on them. It kills the ticks and the fleas. So, know, it's not good for your pet. Your pet is walking around absorbing poison.
And I remember you telling me on one of your small chihuahuas, like, your chihuahuas on one of like the smaller one, Bailey. After she had one of the medicines put on her, I think she was so small that it caused her seizures that she now has.
Well, they think she's epileptic, but it could have been that because she is a tiny dog. But I dosed her with the amount that it said for that size. I just would much rather try a rosemary bath rinse than, here in Georgia, we get ticks and fleas pretty badly.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can't help but do something. We don't want our dogs to be, victims of those nasty critters. So we can't. Oh, yeah. We got to do something. But I think I'm going to try this rosemary one.
Yeah, I would try that because I know in our other episode where we talked about essential oils and how I brought up that a lot of people will try to come up with herbs and stuff to help alleviate some things that you should go see a doctor for.
Yeah.
So I don't want to kind of like get mixed up where it's like, oh, if it's your dog, it's fine that you don't go see a vet, that's not what we're saying. But with some of my personal experiences, the vet has always made my dog worse. And that could have been this very specific vet that I was going to. They were not very good. The new vet that I'm at is excellent. I love taking her there. She's not nervous going anymore, but just some other things on top of that could help her outside of going to the vet and also save me some money, So I'm not saying don't take your dog to the vet and don't like talk to your vet before doing all of this. No, you need to consult your vet before you do anything to your pet.
Right.
I just want to make that clear. I'm not saying don't or blah, blah, blah.
These are alternatives, but there are some things that only medicine will work on.
Yeah.
And it may be that in your area, fleas and ticks, you've got to have the flea and tick stuff because you don't want your animal getting bitten by ticks that could cause the diseases that the ticks cause. So
yeah.
But this is just something to keep in mind that might help in addition to, and then, individually for your pet, because vets a lot of times have this generic broad teaching, whereas we know our pets just like we know our own bodies. And so, but I agree with what you said. So then I moved on to internal issues, and I came across milk thistle, and it said it's been used for centuries to treat liver disease in humans. It's also used to drain the liver. I'm not envisioning that in my head. I'm sure is not how that really works in the real world. Great to use for detox after using chemicals for parasite prevention. So this is what I was talking about, like the flea, tick, and heartworm medicine that always worries me. It says that milk thistles can help take out some of the toxins that might be residual because of that. And the liver enzymes that might be elevated if there's liver stress, then perhaps milk thistle might be something that you could use for that. It's also great for animals with other diseases like diabetes, Cushing's disease, and all of those, because those also affect the liver. But I couldn't find how to give it to them. When I'm thinking, when it says it's used to drain the liver, I can't picture how that would be. Do we make a tea? I don't know.
When you said drain the liver, I imagine somebody holding a liver and wringing it out like a.
Well, I'm thinking of the little thistles on the milk thistle poking through the dog's skin, being used to drain. I know that's not right.
No.
So I have no idea. See, you really ought to not take our medical advice for sure.
Yeah. We are just ordinary people.
That's very, very true.
So I went on to mint because I just thought it was fitting, because my dog started this by eating all of your lemon mint in the backyard.
It's got little dog teeth marks on it now.
It does.
It has like leaves with little dog teeth marks.
Little bite marks. It's absolutely adorable. But I went to go pick one and it was soggy. So I started with peppermint, and peppermint may soothe your dog's nausea and upset stomach, but in large quantities, it can also cause liver and kidney problems. So this is an herb that you really don't want to overdo it. Like 1 or 2 is fine per day, but do not overexceed that. Simply, spearmint can freshen your dog's breath and repel fleas, but larger doses could cause diarrhea or vomiting. So proper portioning is key. You don't want to overdo this. There are many benefits, and I'll just touch on a couple. So fresh mint is rich in vitamin A and C, which supports healthy bones, skin, and vision, as well as immunity. Yeah, I said that weird. It's full of trace minerals like calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, folate, potassium, and zinc, which all play a key role into a balanced nutrition.
Okay.
Mint leaves are a natural source of dietary fiber, which can promote healthy digestion. The antioxidant benefits of fresh mint protect against free radical damage and oxidation in the cells. It can soothe upset stomach and relieves nausea and diarrhea. But if too much can cause that, those problems.
That might be something that would work for car sick dogs too.
Yeah. Peppermint or mint contains rosmarinic acid, I don't know how to pronounce that, which has been shown to relieve symptoms associated with seasonal allergies, like pollen and all of that.
Okay.
It also can relieve with menthol and natural decongestion, it's a natural decongestant, which can help break up mucus and phlegm, relieving respiratory ailments, which I thought was very cool.
Yeah.
Herbs are just so cool. They can mint, I think peppermint mostly, but I think it's overall any type of mint. So like lemon mint, all this stuff. Relieve symptoms of inflammation in like in your bowels, like any bowel disease, and it can reduce gas.
Okay.
The leaves of the plant in particular may help reduce side effects of chemotherapy and radiation treatments.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. And then last but not least, mint has natural antiviral, antimicrobial, antibacterial, and antifungal benefits, which can help freshen your dog's breath. And like I said, my dog has really bad, like it's a disease. They don't really know what it's called, but it causes what the new vet says it is a stoma, which is like a buildup of like an ulcer, bacterial buildup of like phlegm and like grossness, basically.
Grossness. That's the medical term.
Grossness. But I think mint would also be very good for keeping her gums like healthy, you know?
Yeah, I would say definitely try that.
Yeah. And then how to give it to your pets is like the easiest way to add mint to your dog's diet is to sprinkle a little fresh or dried mint over their food. Just don't overdo it. And a few leaves a day is about all your dog should be getting.
Yeah, my little one, Bailey, like you said, her breath is just atrocious. So I think maybe I'll try some mint for her. The next one I came up with was turmeric. Did you know turmeric is supposedly the natural anti-venom for bites of the king cobra?
Really?
Yeah, I just can't believe that that's accurate.
That's interesting. Did you find multiple sources that said that?
No, just this one. But I didn't go in and really look for more. I just found that to be very interesting if it's true. Because they're super poisonous.
Yeah.
But turmeric has been found to interfere with cancer growth in animals. And yeah, it's received a great deal of focus because of its ability to reduce tumor size and kill cancer cells. It's been shown just as effective as aspirin and ibuprofen in reducing pain. So it's also a pain reliever. And some studies have shown it to be just as effective as steroids, and it's a potent anti-inflammatory. Some chronic diseases such as allergies, arthritis, kidney disease, those are often accompanied by chronic inflammation. So turmeric would be a great thing to help treat that. It's not water soluble though. So it's a tricky on how you can get your dog to eat some. It's best, it says, if you mix it with oils. So you take like a half a cup of organic turmeric powder. You want to make sure it's organic because you don't want those extra additives. 1 cup of filtered water, 1/4 cup of organic cold pressed coconut oil. You can also add 1.5 teaspoons of freshly ground pepper to increase its absorption, which I feel like the dog might not eat it with that, but I don't know. You'd have to play with that. And then you mix all of those together in a saucepan and you set it on medium to low heat for 5 to 10 minutes, and it will form a paste. And then you let it cool and you can put it in a jar and store it in your refrigerator for about 2 weeks, no more than 2 weeks. And then you can add this paste directly to your dog's meals by mixing it with some water, or if they've got wet dog food, you can mix it into the wet dog food. Small dogs, you would start with about 1/4 teaspoon a day. Medium dogs would be about 1/2 teaspoon. Large dogs would be 3/4 teaspoon. And then giant dogs would be about 1 teaspoon. I'm not quite sure what consists of a giant dog. Saint Bernard, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe like a Great Dane?
Maybe. So that's what I found on turmeric. And turmeric, don't forget, it's the spice that's used in a lot of Indian cooking. It's that bright yellow. Yeah.
I really like turmeric, but I never really cook with it because I don't know how. I don't have time to even like teach myself how to,
I would like to learn to cook with it too.
Yeah. and again, I think there's a theme in my herbs that I chose. I chose ones that would benefit my dog.
Well, that's the reason for doing this. So there
Yeah.
you go.
I chose parsley, and now it makes me, so we're getting our like little tiny balcony garden up and going, and we have a lot. Like we have a lot this year, and my husband was like, "Okay, like this year we're not going to have more than 3 plants." Well, we're pushing on 8. So, it makes me want to go and get a parsley plant.
Okay.
So parsley freshens dog's breath with antimicrobial properties, which help to prevent germs and bacteria from taking over your dog's mouth, which sounds exactly like what my dog needs.
And my stinky breath dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parsley has anti-inflammatory properties that can benefit arthritic dogs as well.
Oh, interesting.
Its antiseptic properties can it be helpful in fighting urinary tract infections, and can also be used as a how do you say that? Poultice for bee stings. Yeah, okay, I know what it is. I just could not pronounce it. And then using a blender or juicer, mix together fresh parsley leaves with water, about 1 part leaf for every 1 part of water, at a rate of 1 teaspoon for every 20 pounds of dog. Administer the green soup to your 4-legged friend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would like it though. That's the thing with a lot of this stuff. Well, we already know your dog likes the mint, so
she likes the mint. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to try this.
I think what we would have to do is, my dog loves eggs and she loves tomatoes, which tomatoes
are those safe for dogs?
It has to be very low. It's not very safe for them, but she loves them. Like I drop a tomato on the floor while I'm cooking and she's there. Like she instantly knows when I have tomatoes. So I could definitely like cook her like an egg or 2 and mix up some parsley, like this parsley mix. And I think she would eat it.
A gourmet omelet with the herbs and tomatoes.
Yeah, she would love it.
To go with our tea party.
And with our ginger tea party. I like this vibe of a dog tea party.
I do too. I can just see us out on my deck and we have a little tea party and we've got little bowls and stuff down and little cups for the dogs.
I would need to go buy my dog a cute little dress or tuxedo.
That would be so fun. So then I moved on to cats, and I started to realize that really the same things that are safe for cats for dogs are generally safe for cats as well. So I started to just look at individual herbs instead of trying to go through how I did it with dogs. So the first one I came up with was lemon balm. And it's known in the medical community for its effects on the nervous system. It has anti-anxiety and anti-stress properties. So you and your cat can eat them for a good night's sleep. It is highly packed with antioxidants, and recent studies show that it contains antimicrobial and antiviral compounds. So you can use lemon balm leaves to prepare your tea, or if you're trying to get your cat to have some, just toss some of those leaves into your cat's water bowl or your dog's water bowl for that matter.
Interesting.
And then bee balm, which I had never heard of, but I like the name. Bee balm is famous among Native Americans for its ability to treat mouth infections and skin irritations. When your cat suffers from a skin burn or infection, you can prepare a tea from bee balm leaves and apply it topically to the affected area. It has a very pungent and peppery taste, so it's not appealing to everybody, but it tastes good in salads and things. So you might have to get your dog to eat it. You might have to put it in her little omelet.
Yeah.
And then thyme. Did you know that the Greeks believed that thyme could drive away evil spirits or curses? Yeah,
I did not know that.
Interesting. But it is completely safe for humans and cats. It contains thymol and carvacrol, which are antimicrobial substances. Thymol is an antiseptic that is very effective against parasitic worms, which animals sometimes get. And carvacrol can inhibit the growth of bacteria. So thyme is also used to relieve symptoms of respiratory and digestive problems like bronchitis or irritable bowel syndrome. And when suffering from any of these things, you can feed your cat 1/2 teaspoon of thyme tea twice a day to shorten the duration of any of those issues. And it can be easily separated from seeds. It prefers well-drained soil, lots of light, and minimum amounts of water, which means I might not actually kill it.
Yeah. I chose catnip.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't think that it would have been quite the episode talking about herbs for cats if we didn't cover catnip.
Yeah.
So catnip is known as the king of cat herbs. Catnip is beloved. Beloved. I don't think I've ever used that in a sentence before. I've used beloved.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah. Okay. Catnip is beloved by felines all over the world, and for good reason, because it makes them happy.
That's one word for it.
It's a sort of like an after work cocktail for cats. It relieves them of stress and nervousness. Also, if your cat is starting to be scratchy and is always having an itchy skin, a catnip tea bath can soothe your cat's skin.
Now, that is interesting because our cat loves catnip, but he gets kind of vicious when it's around. And so I can't imagine trying to bathe him in a catnip bath. Those claws come out.
I couldn't imagine that. Yeah, I could not imagine that.
When the catnip is there, his claws come out. He loves it. He is high as a kite and then he'll crash. But he does. He loves the catnip, and we sometimes will put it into his bed or his little tower, and he will just go over there and roll in it. He just loves it.
I could see that.
I chose dill. Dill has the ability to alleviate nausea and other stomach problems, such as burping and indigestion. It may also be used to relieve symptoms of hemorrhoids and colic. It can inhibit bacterial infections and inflammation in your cat's mouth or throat. So this is another one that your dog might be able to do. And dill would be good in an omelet as well.
Yeah.
Most of the essential oils of this herb are packed in its seeds. So you may want to let it flower and then collect its seeds at the end of the growing season. And it is safe for dogs as well, by the way, but be wary of amounts. It's another one of those that you don't want to let them just chow down on it and overeat. And then basil. In alternative medicine, basil is often used to treat nausea. But new scientific research shows that this herb has the ability to prevent cancer and improve memory. It can also lower blood pressure and strengthen blood capillaries. And with the nausea, this might be another herb for car sickness in either cats or dogs.
Yeah. The next herb that I chose was, and I think it's Valerian, right?
Valerian.
Is that how you pronounce Valerian?
I think Valerian.
Valerian. I guess if it was Verilion, it would have an E.
Yeah, Valerian, I think.
Okay. This pungent herb is best known for helping people to relax and get a good night's sleep. So why not give it to your cat? It works as a stimulant on cats. It's good it's good for transforming your quote unquote lazy fat cat into an exercise machine. So kind of like giving your cat the zoomies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And yet for humans, it helps us sleep. That's so weird.
Yeah. It's very interesting. So if you pair this with the fact that the cats like actually like eating the plant, then you've got the perfect formula for a healthy, furry, like feline. It's also known to relieve stress and anxiety, but it's widely used to promote for a good night's sleep, but only in humans.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because when given to dogs or cats, it can encourage calmness in stressful situations, all without like harsh chemicals and pharmaceutical sedatives. Isn't that interesting?
That is, because I used to have I still have, I have a friend who they would sometimes have to give sedatives to the cats to travel because they traveled so poorly. And I wonder if this valerian would be something that instead of having to actually like sedate them, if that might work.
I think it would just put them in like a relieved stress, anxiety-free state. And it's kind of like a similar way as to how your cat reacts on catnip because of the valeric acid that works like with your cat's pheromones.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So if you're like just like catnip, it makes your cat, well, not yours, but most other people's cats like chill out and not like, not stress.
That's interesting. I'll have to see what our cat thinks about that. And then I chose fennel, which, did you know, in Chinese and Hindu cultures, fennel was ingested to speed the elimination of poisons from the system, particularly after snake bites and scorpion stings. Huh. So it's another herb that's thought to help get rid of the poisons. That's fascinating. It's highly beneficial for the digestive tract. It can reduce intestinal gases and abdominal cramps and improve appetite. This herb also has antibacterial benefits for your mouth and can reduce bad breath. So another one that I need to give to my dog.
Yeah.
You can prepare fennel tea and feed your sick cat 1 teaspoon twice a day. Fennel contains beneficial vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals that can keep your dog or cat healthy. And another, did you know, witchy fact, fennel was one of the ancient Saxon people's 9 sacred herbs, and it was credited with the power to cure what were then believed to be the 9 causes of disease.
Oh.
So fennel's been thought to be medicinal for a long, long time.
What were the other 8 herbs?
I don't know.
So I chose golden seal, which I thought, I've never heard of it before.
I've never heard of that either.
So golden seal can be used as a natural disinfectant on wounds and in conjunction with saline may help shrink swollen eyes due to infections and allergies.
Interesting.
Which is so cool because like when I think of a disinfectant, I immediately go to cleaning products, like disinfectant cleaning products, but a natural disinfectant is so cool. But also don't forget to consult your vet prior to using these herbs. Another disclaimer, I put them in there all over the place.
These are all herbs that we need to know for the zombie apocalypse because we need all of these things when we're not going to be able to have access to antibacterial stuff and antiviral stuff. Yeah.
It's also known as wonder herb, and it has several benefits for dogs from digestion conditions, kennel cough, tapeworms, and more. And then it can be used as a dried powder, brewed in tea, or make it into a tincture, all while being completely safe for dogs and cats. Holistic veterinarians also recommend golden seal to stimulate cats' immune systems and to help support intestinal health.
Interesting. There's so much more out there, but this was really fun.
Yeah.
I don't have any more right now. I mean, we could do more episodes on animals. And also, you guys, if you have particular animals that are your familiars and you want to know what might be good for them, let us know and we can do an episode on that.
Yeah, like lizards and snakes and birds and rabbits and yeah.
Are you going to do the outro?
I have not done the outro in so long. Let me try. Okay. Oh no.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. So yes, thank you for coming to our podcast. You can find us at www.c3witchypodcast.com. You can also find us on all social medias at C3 Witchy Podcast. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can also find all of those links on our website as well. Also on our website, you have our merch, you have our newsletter and information. Speaking of, have we done an April newsletter?
No, every time that I've done, like, I think I did an episode on the last day of March, and I'm like, oh, my newsletter's due tomorrow. I'll try to get it out. And then last week episode, I'm like, I still haven't gotten it out. And now this week's episode, I still haven't done it.
It's okay. It's okay. The beginning of the year is rough for us all.
Yes.
But I think I did great with the outro.
I think you did too. And if you like us, then leave us a review. That would be very helpful. If you like us and you want to support us, then visit us at our Patreon. You can either click the link on our website to get there, or you can go straight to Patreon at www.patreon.com /C3 Witchy Podcast. Any amount that you support us with would be wonderful. We would really, really appreciate it. And as a thank you, everybody who does that gets a tote bag. We have all kinds of bonus episodes. We do downloadables that you can have. We do exclusive recipes, that kind of thing. So definitely come support us. And we will be back.
We'll be back.
And in the meantime, stay witchy.
Uh-huh.